KUGAN, CASSIUS, IFL TV, MTK Global.
Hi, how are you?
So there's still life in the old dog yet?
It appears so. It appears so.
You I'm talking about?
Oh, me? I thought you meant Kel.
Kel.
Yeah, please. I mean, different. There's a lot of things I saw tonight that you might not have seen or people at home might not have seen. Like the shape of him in the ring. Normally, he really struggles to make weight. He rehydrates, he balloons up, looks a bit sluggish at times. Probably put on like 6 or 7 pounds, which for him is unheard of. Normally it would be a stone plus in the ring. After 5 rounds, I looked at him come back to the corner, wasn't even breathing. Normally I'm thinking, fucking hell, this weight cut might catch up with him here. Timing was a little bit off at times. He's been out of the ring for 14 months. DeLuca was tough as they come. Busted his nose in the second round. Just kept going. Thought he was the right opponent for the comeback. And I thought, you know, Kel showed that he's still a world-class fighter and still got big fights left in the tank.
Give me 3 realistic options for KELL BROOK now.
Liam Smith.
Liam Smith.
Texiera, once he fights Castano. Yeah. Rosario, who's got a mandatory and a couple of bits and pieces. Yeah, I mean, just got a text about Lara. It's not really something we fancy, but you know, I think the bigger problem with Kel now is when he goes back in the ring. You know, because any fighter that performs well and has been out of the ring a long time comes out and says to me, "Get me back in there, 10 weeks, 12 weeks." But realistically, when you look at the dates, it's probably going to be more like June. So, which is fine, but we've got to map it out now. See if he wants to come back with another opponent who's better than DeLuca, or just jump in a crunch fight. And I think probably the latter.
You're dismissing Amir Khan by now.
I think we have to dismiss Amir.
Finally.
I don't want to, but I just feel like there's nothing that's happened in the last.
When's the last time you spoke to him, Ed?
Amir?
Yeah.
A couple of months ago, maybe.
A couple of months?
Yeah, a show, something like that, or a month.
I thought you were meant to meet him recently.
No, we did. We met, we talked. But there's nothing, you know, there's only one fight I want Amir Khan to take, and that's KELL BROOK. Listen, I hope he calls me tomorrow and says, you know what, let's do it. We'll do it outdoors in the summer, June, July, whatever.
Realistically, probably not.
Probably not.
Liam Smith fight's a good fight.
Great fight, brilliant fight, 50-50 fight. Now, Liam Smith's a world-class fighter, former world champion. KELL BROOK's former world champion. You know, both in the final stages, probably of their career. Liam might kick me for saying that, but I think, you know, that they're all like these old school guys. Kel come up to me in the ring after, he's like, I was one of the original bunch. Me, Frocci, Barker. You know, I thought, yeah,
he was though, wasn't he?
And
yeah.
like, you know, I've been through, you know, I've had big ups and downs with KELL BROOK, not in our relationship, but in terms of his career. You know, people don't see everything that goes on behind closed doors. And, you know, he talks now about the fact that he wishes he would have been more disciplined and, you know, wouldn't have cut corners, and so do I.
Do you regret putting him in with
No, because you've got to understand, and again, I'm only saying this because he's bringing it up. KELL BROOK was, although a world champion, sometimes a disaster. And there were things that happened that meant I worried, and we all worried, that he would never get the chance to have defining fights for money that would set him up for life. Right? We were in a situation where we got offered we were talking about fighting Jesse Vargas, funnily enough, in the unification. The money was so bad, the way that it was working out, and Kel weren't happy with the money. And I remember I was outdoors in my house, and I said to Chris Eubank Jr. and Chris Eubank Sr., stop fucking around. You sign this contract by 4 o'clock or it's off the table. And they said, well, you won't do that, you won't do that. And anyway, they come around at 4 o'clock and I said, it's off. It's not happening. So I phoned KELL BROOK that night and we were just talking about the Golovkin fight. And he said, I'll fight. He said, listen, I can hardly make 147. I think I can beat him. What's the money? And we looked at the money. It was a lot of money. And I spoke to his dad and I spoke to Dominic and we just sort of said, look, we just don't, look, there's nothing here, and this is the one that, you know, if we win this fight,
you let it off.
And we don't know what's going to happen with KELL BROOK. One day, you know, he's in the gym. The next day, he's out. The next day, you know, he had the issues with, obviously, when he got injured. You know, he nearly lost his leg, let alone his career. Then he broke his rib. You know, it was all kinds of different stuff. But the fact is, he wasn't really dedicated. That's the truth of it. So we wouldn't have fought Golovkin if everything was plain and simple, you know? So when people say about, do you regret doing it? No, because at the time we all agreed as a team that was the fight. And I never phoned him up and said, hey, do you want to fight? It was literally like, I'll fight him. Well, do you want to do that? Are you sure? Yeah, I think we can beat him. Dominic, his dad, everybody agreed. Let's go. And it's only really because the injury that it's a big talking point, you know? If we'd have got stopped in the 4th round or 5th round, you know, fair enough, put up a great performance, great fight, but it was the injury. This Errol Spence fight was purely his decision, something that I actually advised against, but I have to admire his bollocks for that, because he didn't want to vacate the title. I said to him, you can't go back to 47, having just boxed at 60, and, you know, you're coming off an eye injury, and he should never really have been in the ring that night. How he made the weight for that fight, I will never know. But if you would have seen what I saw for him making weight for that fight, how he was winning that fight comfortably after 6-7 rounds, he could never have gone the distance in that fight and broke his other cheekbone. So he's had a nightmare, really, hasn't he? But you know, it's good to see him happy. I just think sometimes, and we all know this, as you get older, you just realise mistakes you made and things that you want in life. He kicks himself now because he wishes he probably would have been a little bit more disciplined growing up. But that's life. It's done. You know, he was behaving like he wanted to behave at the time. So it's easy to look back and say, oh, I should have done this, should have done that. Don't look back in regret. It's happened. Deal with the future. And the future is, he's still here. He's still breathing. He can still fight. And he's still a world-class fighter. So right now, live the best way you can. Enjoy the sport. Love your family. And go out there and finish in style and try and become a 2-weight world champion.
Let's run through the rest of the card. Great achievement for Terry Harper
just
tonight.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Not just her achievement, but let's just take a moment to think about where women's boxing has come. And I have to be honest with you. And, you know, I'm a fucking genius. A genius. Because what we've done with women's boxing is just unbelievable. I'm a genius.
No, the whole sentence.
I'm a fucking genius.
So.
Because these girls are amazing. But we had no shot. People were moaning, oh, women's boxing, it's rubbish. It's not going to take on. Oh, who wants to watch 2 women have a fight? Oh, they should be in the kitchen. Oh. This is what you get. Do you know what I mean? Now they're filling arenas. Do you hear the atmosphere? It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And it's good. It's good sport. It's quality sport. And we're giving people opportunities. Sport changes lives. Boxing changes lives. And it's changed her life completely. I'm so excited about Terry Harper because she is just a diamond to deal with. And Katie the same. You know, Katie's now at superstardom level, but Katie built this, you know, and she deserves so much credit because everything that Katie worked towards, everything that she believed in, everything that she fought for is now coming into fruition. And people like Terry who do, you know, Terry might end up fighting her, but she thanks Katie Taylor because Katie Taylor was the pioneer.
All right, can we just quickly run through the other card?
Kid Galahad.
Kid
Galahad.
What do you think will happen there? Just
well, look, Josh is going to have probably a fight in the summer. You know, he'll be allowed to have that fight, and then Barry's waiting him as mandatory. You know, he's got that now. There's other fights.
Do you think he'll vacate before fighting again? Does he want to fight Galahad again?
Probably not.
He's already fought him, beaten.
Yeah, probably not. And look, Warrington's probably looking for a big fight. I think that is a big fight as well, but he's definitely going to fight, you know, in the summer. But you know, there's other fights out there for Barry. If he can't get that, there's Kanzu, there's Gary Russell, but nothing can take the mandatory position away from him.
Dave Allen, quickly.
Thought he boxed really well.
Yeah.
I mean, he said to me tonight, I'm going to use my feet and move around. I'm like, what the fuck? This is going to be awful. And for 2 rounds, he was doing that. He actually boxed quite well. And I said to him at the end of the second round, Dave, that's enough now. Yeah. Take him out. The finish was great. Thought Martin Ward boxed excellently. Excellently. Really good against a very dangerous fighter. And I've got to get him a world title shot or a massive fight in 2020. Just like Kell was one of the first ones. I saw Wolby 10 years ago in a gated gym in Hainault, and I thought, this kid's special, he can be a world champion, I want to deliver it for him. Anthony Tomlinson against Stuart Burt, I hope you watched that on Facebook, that was a cracker. Dante Dixon, really impressive in a tough 4-rounder. John Dock's a fucking absolute monster. And Callum Beardo, well done. Mad support, great win.
New show announced, we spoke about it earlier on the 28th.
Yeah, buzzing.
Avanesian and Kelly.
David Avanesian against.
Who else is going to go on that? No, we spoke
So
about
we got a press conference on Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll announce in due course. So a lot of our top young fighters. I was going to call it sink or swim because it's like getting to the stage now with our young Olympic stars where it's sink or swim time.
Yeah.
Avanesian against Kelly is a fucking brilliant fight with loads of needle as well, particularly
Booth,
between Neil Marsh and
yeah.
Adam Booth. And that fight, David Avanesian is top 10 in every governing body. So it's AVA v PBK. Our special is PBK. We're going to find out 28th of March at the O2. Don't miss it. Press conference this week. We'll announce our April 4th Newcastle show on Tuesday as well.
2 presses next week.
Yeah, well, there'll be more than 2 presses, but I didn't tell you about that one.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Cheers.
yeah.
Gold Star Promotions is proud to present Floyd Money Mayweather. The man himself is coming to the UK for his UK tour, February and March 2020. For all info and tickets, goldstarpromotions.co.uk.